Hello Jackal! In case you didn't know, DaVinci Resolve 19 just came out. But I do have a couple of issues with it, so let's go over those issues before we get to the positives and features. Issue number 1 is that if you are new to DaVinci Resolve, you'll have to download the latest version, which would not be bad if this was not a beta. So basically, you are forced to download a beta version, which is not good, at least in my opinion. A beta version should only be downloaded by those that want to use the beta version and the latest features. I'll get to issue number 2 in a moment. Now, if you download the studio version and install it while you had the previous version installed, the license key will still be activated, so you don't need to activate it again. So that's a positive. And you will see your previous projects. So let's just go make a new one. And this is where the second issue comes in. Previously, in version 18, you would go to Help, DaVinci Resolve Reference Manual. And it would open the new reference manual, which in the previous version was Resolve 18, and it would only show the features that they would be adding. So just a couple of pages, not 4,000 pages. And the Resolve 18 had the issue they would show the updates, but they wouldn't give you the full manual. This version has the opposite issue. They still show you the previous manual, 18.5. They don't actually show you what's new. Now, if you go to the support page and find the DaVinci Resolve, you do have a list of what's new, but not how to actually use it. So you have some guesswork to do. And even if you go to the forum, it's the same issue. You don't actually have any idea how to use something. So we have DaVinci Resolve, public beta, and this is basically the list that you've seen in the support section. If you want to see what's new in DaVinci Resolve 19 Beta 1, I suggest you go watch Mr. T. No, not that T. This Mr. T. He has covered most of the features. But I will go over just a few of the features that I like. The first one is in the edit page. Let me just make a new timeline. You'll then want to click on the audio down here, not change the name. So click down here and have the inspector opened to see new features. Previously, we only had voice isolation and dialogue leveler, but now you also have dialogue separator. You can separate the voice, background and ambience and adjust by how much you want to separate it. And you can also mute them. Then you have music remixer. So this allows you to mute voices, drums, bass, address and guitar. I haven't tested out this yet, but it looks very powerful. And lastly we have the Docker option, which is not self-explanatory, at least not to me. But we do have some hint on what this does. So it is auto-level management of beds against dialogue. So if you have a dialogue and some music in the dialogue, you can also fine-tune it. So you lower the music down, or maybe some ambient noises, which I guess is similar to voice isolation. I'll have to test this out, what's better, but if it is just voice isolation, maybe you want to use voice isolation. The next two additions that I found interesting are in the Fusion page. One is this one, multi-polygon. It was added to the custom toolbar. So you have multi-polygon. What it does, like the name suggests, you can make multiple polygons within one node. But first you have to click inside here to either use polygon or a B-spline. A B-spline makes automatic curves, and the polygon, well, it has sharp edges. And then you can simply select from the shapes what you want. And you can also change the paint modes, which previously would look something like this. So paint mode, and you would use these options to combine the two polygons or multiple polygons. But when you have multiple polygons, this would get messy. So I like this addition, and it was done similarly as it was done with the multi-merge in Resolve 18. And the second feature that they've added is under the Effects, Tools and Shapes. And in here we should find as text, but they have also added as change style. They have also added a change to the as boolean. I can quickly show you that. So I'll use an as ellipse, and the one that they've added is as text. So I'll simply combine this and display it, type something in, and in the ellipse I'll make it small and maybe move it like so. Now in the as boolean we can do maybe subtract, and what I'll do is I'll use Ctrl T to switch these two nodes, and now with the text we can actually make a cutout, and instead of subtract I'll use XOR, so we can make something funky like this. But what I also wanted to show you is maybe I'll change the style in as ellipse and change the color. Nothing happens. That is obvious because that is how as boolean worked previously. But now you can use the style mode and use keep. And now if I go to the as text and also change the color here, we have kept the separate colors in the as boolean. Previously you couldn't do this individually. The as boolean would just replace the color and everything would be the same as the color that you set here. So this is a lot better. And now for the last feature. It is probably the best one of them all, especially if you have the studio version. If you don't have the studio version, you won't have most of the features. But if you do, you will be able to use the Film Look Creator. This is an effect similar to the enhancer. I will make a separate video on which one is better. Is it the Film Look Creator or is it the enhancer plugin? So this is what you get out of the box in the enhancer and what you get out of the box in the Film Look Creator. So let's take a look at some of the options. We have a bunch of presets. Let's go quickly over them. I do like this one and this one, and it also moves. So just from the presets alone, I think the enhancer has a tough time ahead of it if they want to sell the plugin. Then we have the color space overrides. We can set exposure, contrast, highlights, fade, white balance, tint, skin bias, subtractive stat, richness, which I guess doesn't do much if you use saturation, and bleach bypass. Then we have some split toning, vignette, halation, bloom. Also we have the grain and we have presets. So I guess the Blackmagic design team actually took a look at the enhancer and took what is good about it and put it in DaVinci Resolve. Then we have some flicker. We also have the gate weave and the film gate. Do we have any holes? I guess not, but you can adjust how it looks like. If I just spoil it a bit, you most likely won't be using the enhancer, at least not at this point in time. But if you want to see that video, subscribe to the channel. And one cool feature that they've added is text. Let's go to effects, type in text. We'll have to use text plus. You will then have to enable this option. So this will be Fusion Overlay. This has to be enabled. So you can select the text, right click, and we'll go template, allow manual positioning, and also you can use allow typing in preview. So this is the preview window. So if we enable that, we can type inside here, and if we enable manual positioning, we can now also make selections and adjust the positions. And what has also changed when it comes to a text plus, if you right click and go to character level styling, this has now been enabled. You just don't see it like you didn't see it previously, but when you go into the Fusion page, you now actually have the character level styling enabled. Previously, you still had to right click and add the character level styling. So with this addition, they have effectively removed 2 clicks. And why would you want to go into the Fusion page? Well, that is because if you want to change the color of individual selected characters, this can only be done in the Fusion page. You cannot do it in the Edit page. So if I select this section, this will change the color of everything, except this one, because this one has priority, as you can see. Well, let's go back into the Fusion page. So this is the color change that has been done in the Edit page, and this is the color change that has been done in the Fusion page. Now that was a quick look into some of the features that I like, but they have added a lot more, so you should go over them and see which ones you like. I'm Simon, and until next time, Jackal, keep it digital.